a different story. I mean, you got to look at the bigger picture and not just, and have an knee-jerk reaction to the point that you're going to do something that's going to end up costing the county a lot more money than what a ticket would. I have met with his attorneys twice. I met with two of the attorneys from Biggerman Law Firm Tuesday before last, and I met with them again this past Thursday in an attempt to reach a resolution, and also met with Dr. Bennett was present at the second meeting.
I guess what is their, I don't know, we may not be able to discuss this openly, but what is their basic standing? I mean, this guy's violating everything under the sun. How in the world how are they keeping a straight face and saying,
Well, the last one was that they did not receive any monetary gain from having the event.
And that you have to be able to prove.
Well, I don't know how you cannot, Mr. Chairman. I don't know how you can not have some understanding or some. That would be the same as me having a wedding on my place.
Yeah. Now, if you were too loud
and having a gathering.
If you were too loud, I could still come after you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I couldn't come after you for having a wedding.
Now, as far as specifically the last event, which is the one we're talking about now, the deputies just spent a considerable amount of time out of sight trying to monitor to see if they could not substantiate the last noise complaint. They were unable to hear it. Now, I do know, in fact, that there have been a number in the past, and I do know, in fact, that he has received written notification that we are aware of it.
and I guess again, not knowing the complete legal system, but I mean that there's a pattern here of just basically thumbing your nose at the law, and does that, at some point, does that not come into play at one of these, I mean, we don't just forget each time this happens, we go to court and we're talking about just this one. Can we, is there 5 before that brought into play, or how does that work?
When you get into rules of evidence within each individual hearing at that point, technically speaking, no, they're each individual violations of the ordinance. Whether you could prove under specific facts, essentially an MO, and that might come into play, but you get into a very gritty detail level there. Technically, each individual ordinance violation is a separate case. And once you've maxed out the fine there, then there's not much else you can do.
Kind of with Commissioner Luke, could we make I don't know if it's in the form of a motion that we could do that, but I make a motion that we authorize the county attorney to look at the fine penalty and possibly put a habitual violator clause into our ordinance with stiffer penalties opposed to that. So make that form of motion.
Is there
I'll second.
a motion and second on the floor for discussion?
Where we're having the problems, they continue to happen. And we're not curbing those right now, but there's a habitual violator provision in there that we can continue to go back to the same places.
And I want to make a blanket statement that might get me in trouble somewhere down the line, but that's a lot of what this man runs into. There's a lot of code enforcement issues, whether it be Bennett's Cove or anywhere else. You go back after the same people. You go out there and they got junk on their place, they clean their junk up. Next week there's junk right back out there again. If it's ever been cleaned up the first time, but it's like chasing your tail. And I know what you're going through, and it stinks. And it's, I don't know, it's just,
Well,
we need to do all we can to make it stop.
just a comment, and I certainly think he keeps throwing it in our face.
Yeah.
But we got to be careful that we don't set a precedent on other businesses. We don't want anything like that. But we don't want to have the appearance that we're business unfriendly. Correct. But when somebody keeps throwing sand in your face, pretty soon you got to got to react to
I
that.
don't think anybody with a legitimate business would think that this was any kind of anti-business anything.
Well, I don't think so either, but I'm never surprised at what comes.
No, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
We got a motion on the.
We got a motion on the floor. Is there any other discussion? Got a motion and second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. And the question is that we will instruct our attorney to begin looking at the code section, to update that code section to have a escalating fine structure attached to it. All in favor signify by showing your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Okay.
Appreciate it. Any other questions?
No.